Oh shit, I forgot to turn off the air purifier.
Yeah, whatever. Adds ambiance.
Yeah, fuck it. I'll stand up and do it. Hi guys, welcome to the show. This is Monkey in the Morning. I'm Monkey. He's Jack. Say hi, Jack.
Hi, everybody.
Jack, how you doing, my friend?
Yeah, I'm fine. How are you?
Oh, I'm sore, but so happy, man. Got to spend the weekend with the girls, and I just always, refills my life meter. I need to get in better shape. Gonna pay for it for a few days, and then get up, move my ass around, so that eventually I can do more without hurting, or without hurting so bad. Um, it's just a consequence of me being out of shape, man.
Well, you're
Out of
pretty old, so.
I'm almost 50. I'm crippled, and yeah, that's not a good combination.
Not really, no.
But I really am. I'm so happy, dude. I had so much fun this weekend with the girls. We did a lot of outside playing because it was 70 degrees here today.
Yeah, it's nice out here, too.
So we weren't like stuck in the house and doing craft stuff, which they love. And I don't mind doing it, but much prefer going out and just letting them run around and have fun.
Tires them out faster.
You would think, but not really.
Oh.
They have like endless supplies of energy.
Sounds horrible.
Part of it's probably because they also slept really late. Typically, the girls are up by 7:30. That the latest they sleep is like 7:30. Little Butt didn't get out of bed today until 8:30. And even then, she was still kind of groggy, like, I'm tired, Grandpa. Anyway, but yeah, really, really good weekend. So we should probably talk about the world around us. And I'm just going to be honest with you guys. I don't have a lot to talk about. That doesn't mean I'm not going to talk. I don't have a lot of specific subjects, is more a better way to say it, Jack.
Ah.
I want to talk about the NPR thing because it just made me laugh my ass off. Did you see the video of Biden trying to be all manly as he talked to the commanders who were responsible for shooting down drones and missiles?
Yeah, it's stupid. It's like getting yelled at by the old guy to get off your lawn.
You guys did a great job. I'm so proud of you. And we all are, but why are you making a TV commercial on this?
You know why. It's election year.
Yeah. Have you ever seen this before over, basically an Iron Dome mission?
Nope.
You guys shot down those bullets real well. I'm gonna make a campaign commercial so people don't call me a pussy anymore. I saw the Krasensteins, Jack, come out and say that how do you put it? You can't really compare Trump and Biden because Biden doesn't need to be strong. You see, he should be diplomatic, maybe something. And like, well, look, dude, if he was going to be strong, it's way too late in his presidency to try to.
He dipped out already.
People video of Biden talking to the commanders who shot down missiles. And like, see, this shows he's strong.
Like, so manly.
How does that show strength in any manner? Do you think the Iranians watched that video and went, oh my God, he'll shoot down missiles. We better not fuck around anymore.
Then they break out laughing.
If we do that, we're going to find out. And look, again, guys, I hope the Israelis take the smart road here and don't escalate this thing. From what we've heard, they probably will. Mm-hmm. But there is a way to project peace through strength, and you have to do it early on. This is what happened to Obama. Remember his line in the sand?
Yeah.
Like, don't do this. We're going to do it. What are you going to do about it, pussy? And, well, don't do it again.
Yeah. Or we'll continue to say, don't do that.
Yeah. So the simple fact is, yeah, we knocked down all their things, but there's nothing scary about that to anyone else.
No.
All Iran is thinking is, all right, fuck it, we'll shoot ships instead. We'll do a little more piracy. Yeah. But anyway, I just thought that video was funny as shit because he's trying so hard to look presidential and badass.
It's hard to do when you're like 80 some years old and can barely talk and you shuffle everywhere and the Easter Bunny has to tell you where to go.
And you're a giant pussy.
Yeah.
I mean, Biden is the only time Biden gets, masculine is when somebody challenges him, in a not even a debate. If you go to one of his rallies that he'd have and you said anything that he misunderstood as being negative, then he might call you fat. He might challenge you to some push-ups.
Yeah, sure thing, old man. We're gonna do push-ups. Okay.
If you question his intelligence, he might lie to you about his credentials. But seriously, the guy's just a giant.
Is that him? Yeah, that's him. Monkey, come back. Monkey, come back. We can't do a show without you. Oh, there you are.
Oh, sorry. It didn't tell me that I dipped. The voice in the walls. Thank you for becoming a member for month number 7. Hi,
Woo.
Monk and Jack. It's my birthday today. I hope both of you had a great day. I'm 36, by the way. Damn kids.
Oh, nice. That's a good age. You're
Happy
mid-30s.
birthday.
Yeah, happy birthday.
Voice in the wall. This one's for you. And a 1 and a 2. Happy
birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you. Happy
Happy
birthday
birthday
to the voice in the
in the
wall.
walls.
Happy
Happy
birthday
birthday
to you. Happy birthday. I hope you have a great one. I really, really do. My birthday's coming up, man. It's my last year that I'm not at least half a century old.
Yeah, I did that. It was pretty unexciting.
Yeah. I mean, I don't mind getting older, but there's just something about that age that makes me, it's like, ooh, even for the oldest people, that's the downhill slide.
Yeah, because 100 years ago you were on death's door.
Yeah. Anyway, let's talk about our new NPR CEO, Catherine Marr. She's been in the job for 3 weeks, Jack. We talked about NPR the other day because a guy who's worked there for, I think it was 25 years, 26. I forget the exact. It's over 20 years, 2 decades. Wrote a story telling us about how NPR has lost its way and how people have always thought it had a liberal bent, but basically with the rise of Trump, it has become just a liberal shithole.
Yep, mask off. They're not even attempting to pretend anymore.
It told there were several specific charges in the article. One was that they just went headfirst on the Russian collusion thing, had Adam Schiff on their platform, different programs, 25 times, I think it was 26 times. I'm stuck on the 25, 26. I don't know why that number, but it was more than 20 times.
Oh, because that's how many likes we're roughly at. We need more than that. So like, share, and subscribe so Monkey learns to talk.
It told us that with the COVID lab leak, even after our government was like, yeah, it was probably a lab leak, they were like, no, it's absolutely not a lab leak because God Fauci told us so.
Yeah. Even though he was clearly trying to cover something.
Yeah. And then the other thing it points out is that of the 80 plus editors or people in editorial positions, is how it said, people in editorial positions. I don't remember the exact number. It's in the article we're going to look at, but not a single one of them, Jack, had ever voted or votes Republican. We'll put it that way, because I don't want to say they never voted Republican. They just didn't at the time that the questions were asked.
Mm-hmm.
Every one of them voted Democrat.
Shocker.
Literally every one of them. And like, no, there's no bias here. And in fairness, Jack, it is possible to be a biased person and still report in an unbiased manner.
It's possible. Unlikely, but possible.
Very unlikely. Just overcoming your own biases is hard enough. But especially when part of what you think your job is to not tell people the news, but to mold how they look at the news. mold how they look at Donald Trump, mold how they look at Nancy Pelosi. It's impossible for you to be that fucking biased and give an unbiased take on stuff. It just is.
Mm-hmm.
And we've seen over and over. I mean, we just gave the two examples. Even after the government came out, the people that they told us, hey, the government said it's absolutely not a lab leak. Then they turn around, well, yeah, it's probably a lab leak. They're like, no, it can't be. Because that would mean Donald Trump was right when he said it was a fucking lab leak.
Orange Man's never allowed to be correct.
He said China, and he really overemphasized the nah. And so, therefore, it must be racist. It didn't come from a lab. Sure. I mean,
He's just xenophobic.
Anyway, so this letter comes out a couple of days ago, maybe a week ago now. And the new CEO over here at NPR has responded, Jack.
Oh, yeah?
Not really. I mean, she did respond, but she did not address she does address one criticism, and we'll get to it because we're going to read her letter. But I just wanted to bring up the article that led me to it because it has the exact number of people that the 80 number that I was talking about, the editors or people in editorial positions. I'm very curious about that phrasing. People in editorial positions. But whatever.
Well, people in editorial positions is a lot like women with a uterus.
Hi, sorry about that.
Hi.
Anyway, we want to read this because it has some of her oldies but goodies tweets, Jack. She's also unbiased, you see.
Of course.
In January, when she was announced as NPR's new leader, the Post revealed her penchant, for parroting the progressive line on social media, including bluntly based biased Twitter posts like, this is a quote, Donald Trump is a racist.
Well, that's just science, right?
Now, she took this post down. She scrubbed that one from the internet.
Oh, I'm shocked.
But she has other ones up like this. I mean, sure, looting is counterproductive, but it's hard to be mad about protests not prioritizing the private property of a system of oppression founded on treating people's ancestors as private property. This is in relation to the Summer of Love, Jack.
Of course it is.
Hey, it's hard to be mad at them. Their ancestors had shit happen to them that they're not going through. So it's understandable that they'll burn down your place of business. You know, black business owners.
Right.
It's hard for them to be mad at them for not prioritizing that black man's business over there when his ancestors were oppressed.
Well, they really like fire, apparently.
The next day, she lectured her 27,000 followers on white silence. Quote, white silence is complicity. If you are white, today is the day to start a conversation in your community.
Oh, they always want to start conversations. Nobody wants to talk to you. Shut the fuck up.
Especially, can you imagine you're just sitting around and some honky, I'm white, and if some honky walked up to me like, I need to talk to you about white silence, I'd be like, I need your white ass to shut up.
Yeah, get off my property. You're insufferable.
What I need right now from you is white silence.
Yeah, that's all they do is babble on about shit nobody but them cares about because it's fake. It's fake oppression. Oh, I see it everywhere. Shut up, you pussies. Real quickly, though, thank you, Dark Resurrect, for that feminist donation. Even if I did believe that anyone at NPR would vote Republican, why would they ever say that? They work at NPR, for fuck's sake. Yeah, you got a really good point. They're going to get destroyed at their job.
So, what is it, 2 days ago now? Today's the 15th? Yeah, so 2.5 days ago now. Our CEO here, Catherine, I don't give a fuck, she sent out a letter to everybody at NPR addressing this.
Of course she did.
And we're not going to read the whole thing. I'll throw it into chat if anybody wants to read it because it gets boring and up their own ass, like the press is prone to do. By the way, this chick is not a journalist. She worked for the World Economic Forum. Of course
Oh,
she did.
there's a surprise.
She worked for Wikipedia. She ran the Wikimedia company.
We're just hitting all the markers, aren't we?
Oh yeah.
She a member of the Bilderberg group too, just for fun.
I forget her other job. It was mentioned in that post story, but it's just more proof that yeah, she's just a little fucking lefty, and she probably has no business in a newsroom. Just
That's
saying.
most lefties, quite honestly.
But anyway, dear all, this has been a long week. I'll apologize in advance for the length of this note and for it being the first way so many of you hear from me on more substantive issues. Thanks for bearing with me, as there's a lot that should be said. Yeah. I mean, with the charges that came out and you being a news organization, there's a whole lot you should be doing some deep thinking here.
Good luck with that.
I joined this organization because they paid me very well. Wait, sorry. I joined this organization because public media is essential for an informed public. At its best, our work can help shape and illuminate the very sense of what it means to have a shared public identity as fellow Americans in this sprawling and enduringly complex nation.
What is this is a bunch of nonsense jibber jabber.
It's exactly what I said a minute ago. She's not worried about, informing the public. It's informing the public to turn them into what we want them to be.
Yeah.
Because so many people go into journalism for activism. They say it when they go in. I want to change the world. Well, you're taking a job that's supposed to just tell us what's already going on.
Nope.
If you want to be a fiction writer or even a nonfiction writer, that's different than being a journalist. Anyway, NPR's service to this aspirational mission was called into question this week in two distinct ways. The first was a critique of the quality of our editorial process and the integrity of our journalists. The second was a criticism of our people on the basis of who we are.
Oh no, not identity.
Except for it's not. I mean, the only identity was Democrat.
She's just trying to exist, monkey.
Asking questions about whether we are living up to our mission should always be fair game. After all, journalism is nothing if not hard questions. Oh, bitch, please. Questioning whether our people are serving our mission with integrity based on little more than the recognition of their identity is profoundly disrespectful, hurtful, and demeaning.
Fuck off.
Okay, except, okay, lady, I need you to listen to me. The identity that you're talking about leads to the bad coverage that you have. He wasn't pointing out that you guys are Democrats because Democrats, okay, I mean, I'll say it. He wasn't saying it. He is a lefty after all, Jack.
Yeah.
He wasn't saying lefties can't be honest. In fact, he said he didn't like Trump and that he worked very hard to give a fair take. I don't know because I haven't read his stories whether he did or not. But it's not like he was attacking them because they're left. He was attacking their coverage because their coverage showed how left they were. And that's a big difference. And you can't separate the two. You can't separate, hey, you guys are being biased because you're liberals from them being liberal. But hey, it's demeaning if you question why all the Democrats are running Democrat propaganda. You shouldn't mention that they're Democrats when you mention that they're spreading Democratic talking points. That would be insane, Jack.
That'd be telling. I mean, stop tattling on yourselves.
We got to get through a little more of this because there's a part of this that just made me fucking laugh my ass off. It is deeply simplistic to assert that the diversity of America can be reduced to any particular set of beliefs. He wasn't saying that the diversity of America can be reduced to any particular set of beliefs. He was saying your newsroom can be. In fact, he was pointing out that America can't be, that there are more than just Democrats that exist, Jack.
Well, there's Democrats and Nazis.
Where are we? Each of our colleagues are here because they are excellent, accomplished professionals with an intense commitment to our work. We are stronger because of the work we do together.
Yeah,
And
there's the work. It's not actual production of news, it's the work.
And we owe each other our utmost respect. Again, he points out how you guys ignored reality to push an agenda from a specific partisan viewpoint.
And they still demand respect for it.
But this is my favorite. This is my favorite line of the whole thing. You ready for this?
No.
We fulfill our mission best when we look and sound like the country we serve.
What, a bunch of elitists in Portland?
I just want to remind you that the entirety of their editorial staff are Democrats. We can serve people best when we look like everybody, except Republicans. Republicans don't actually exist, guys. They're like Australia. They're just not here. Speaking of Australia, I was watching Bluey today. Don't judge me.
Oh, too late.
And Bluey's dad was fucking with Bluey about drop bears.
That's awesome.
Yeah, they're getting ready to go out in the woods, and he goes, "Be careful of the drop bears." And Bluey's like, "Oh, really?" And he goes, "No, but do watch out for snakes." It was fucking awesome. Anyway,
I'm surprised you weren't watching about the stabbing the other day.
No, I've heard about that. We actually discussed that briefly. Was it during the game stream, guys? This is what they really think, though, Jack. The part of the criticism, one of the major parts of the criticism is that it is so left because all they hire is lefties.
Mm-hmm. Sounds right.
She honestly believes that a room full of nothing but lefties is what represents America.
Yeah, because there's America, which are the lefties fighting for democracy, and then there's the Nazis who are subhuman Trump supporters.
NPR has some of the finest reporters, editors, and producers in journalism. Our reporting and programming is not only consistently recognized and rewarded for its quality, depth, and nuance
from other lefties,
but at its best, it makes a profound difference in people's lives.
Oh my God, fuck off. I've listened to NPR. They're the most boring fucking people on the planet.
But this is another thing you see with these journalists, man. They think they are God tier, man.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they're so up their own ass that they're drowning in their own farts.
Parents, patients, veterans, students, and so many more have directly benefited from the impact of our journalism.
Fuck off.
I feel like she's giving herself an award here.
I feel like she's giving herself an orgasm.
Yeah, she's definitely, rubbing the nub here.
Yeah.
Where are we? People come to work here because they want to report and report deeply in service to an informed public, and they do that work that makes a difference. See, there it is.
Yeah, it's so up your own ass.
We make a difference. You're a reporter, shut up. At least I make people laugh. I can improve somebody's mood. All you guys do is lie.
Yeah. Real quickly, thank you, Frosted Glass. What I'm concerned about is how NPR manages to find hosts that sound like they had their personalities surgically removed. For fuck's sake, they make Alexa look like Lewis Black. That's true. Also, I'm looking forward to her taking off her disguise, revealing she's Gene Simmons. She's ugly enough that's a possibility.
That is true. Which is weird because you can find pictures of her where she's quite attractive. But something's happened in the last few years. I don't know if she had a Luke Skywalker incident or something.
Oh, that's possible.
Looking at the pictures of her from, again, not that long ago to today, it's amazing. And it's not like plastic surgery difference. It's like body double difference?
Yeah, it's probably because at some point in the past she was like a vegan and it finally caught up with her.
Oh, I could definitely see that. Yeah. Anyway, I threw the
Vegans don't
link.
age well.
I threw the link in the chat if you guys want to go through the rest of this self-congratulatory bullshit.
Yeah. Stop sucking your own dick, people. Taxpayer money.
I
Also,
will ruin it for you and tell you that as far as addressing what was actually said, we've read the part where she addresses what was actually said.
Yeah, that was it.
That's it. Anyhow.
Real quickly. Thank you, Evolved Potato. On Twitter, on something related to this, I was told that probably a lot of Republicans were serial killers because I pointed out that Jim Jones was a political activist that supported the Democrats. They tried to deny he was political in any way. Yeah, Jim Jones was a Democrat.
Yes, he was. Yes, he was. Now, in fairness to the Democrats at the time, they tried to keep him away from them.
Who won?
Yeah, because it was easy to see that he was insane, but that's
Yeah,
because he's a lefty.
This is good business, you know. Like, hide your crazy people.
Yeah, there's a reason he had to go hang out in the jungle. These days, they would just put him center stage.
He'd probably be in a cabinet position.
This is our insanity. All right, we got to talk about the cast review. Oh, I'm enjoying the cast review. The cast review, guys, is a review that came out recently of the scientific evidence that supports children getting sex change and hormone.
He'll be back. Just give him a minute. Just got to realize he's gone. She's too sophisticated to do something crass and animalistic like indulging yours. Yeah, you're right, Assassin. That's so gauche. Are you back?
Was I gone? I'm sorry. I didn't have anything on the screen, and it takes a second for it to click anyway. So yeah, I did not realize. I apologize.
That's okay.
Now we're talking about the CAS report, this review of the supposed science, the settled science. That's what Glad told us.
Yeah.
Of giving children HRT and all the way up through surgeries. And the CAS report or review, I'm gonna make sure I get the wording right, correctly pointed out that there's no scientific basis for any of it. The
feelings.
Well, the left has decided to fight back, Jack.
Of course they have.
And here is their big criticism of the CAS review. You ready for it? The CAS review took a whole bunch of studies and said they weren't worth looking at because they weren't scientific in nature.
It's kind of the point of a scientific paper.
No.
Oh, my bad.
See, one of the problems that comes from this, and this is just reality, is that in order to do something like, say, hormone therapies on a child, we don't have a good way of doing the research for it because we all kind of agree it's not cool to research on children, to do medical experiments on kids.
Yeah, it's making a comeback, monkey.
I'm aware. Except for they're not doing it in the right way, because the right way to do it would be double-blind studies. And these people are pissed that the CAS review pointed that out.
Well, they don't do it the right way, or the correct way, I should say. Correct way, not the extreme right-wing way. But because that's transphobic and bigoted and won't give them the answers they want. Plus, the scientific method is colonialist white people stuff. So they're trying a decolonized approach called we're right and you're not, neener.
Nah. Yeah, it's odd to see people go, this is bad science. It thinks there should be double-blind reviews.
Yeah, well, you get people like Hunter Avalone saying shit like that because they don't understand how the scientific method works.
The one that I saw today that made me laugh, it's actually from a group called the Feminist Gender Equality Network.
That sounds made up.
Figgin'. It is made up, as all feminist shit is.
Yeah. They just like create something and say, oh, that's a scientific body now. Because they know their stuff is all nonsense. They can't support it. They can't sustain it. So they just have to gaslight you into thinking that you're somehow wrong.
There is a truth to the lack of ability to do these kind of studies because they're kids. I mean, it's I realize Fauci, would go outside of the lines, but generally we don't experiment on kids. And if you want to say, hey, look, the reason that those studies are like that is because we can't experiment on kids. I would agree with you, except for you're doing it in service of the argument that you should be allowed to experiment on kids.
Well, they do like children a little too much. You know what I'm saying?
We can't test this and see if it actually helps the kids, so we're just going to give it to them because that's what they need. They tell us it works.
The kids say it, they enjoy it. Like, right, kids? Right? And they flinch a little bit.
I have never heard people, and look, I follow global warming, so I've seen a lot of really bad science in my day. I've never seen anybody be like, how dare you think blind studies are a good idea?
Well, it's ableist for one.
Oh, yeah. Damn. That is my apologies to blind press out there. We love you, sweetie. I wasn't trying to be disrespectful to your disability.
Yeah, you bigot. You're on stolen land.
I'm aware. I've heard.
Because they don't shut up about it.
And I'm reminded of it every time I try to spell a city in Michigan. Anyway. I just find this cast review thing funny because it tells us what we already knew, Jack.
Of course.
We're experimenting on these kids. Remember, my objection to the hormone blockers, the puberty blocker, didn't even come from the trans argument. It came from articles that came out before this, where they're like, by the way, this destroys people's bones.
Yeah.
There was no political agenda in that regarding trans at all. It was just looking at and remember the whole point of that. This isn't even for precocious puberty, Jack. I mean, it's one of the reasons they use it. They were using it to try to help girls grow taller. You put off puberty, the growth plates go a little bit longer. They might gain an extra inch or two. That's why they were doing it. Because, oh my God, she might be a midget and Monkey will look at her funny.
Then we'll laugh when she runs.
You ever hear that joke, why do midgets laugh when they run?
No.
The real punchline is because the grass tickles their balls. But I'm usurping that to change it because Monkey's laughing at the grass tickling their balls.
Oh, yeah. Well, that makes sense.
That's what it was for. It was to help girls grow taller. And it turned out that, by the time that they're in their 20s, they were getting the precursor to osteoporosis and having bones just break in their face, Jack.
Yeah, what's a little brittle bones so you could be a slightly taller Bobby Brady.
A girl's jaw just busted. It just cracked. She was like 23, I think, at the time.
Did anybody look at her and go, got milk?
Right? No, hey, it doesn't do anything to the bones. There's a little bit of bone loss, but it comes back.
Yeah, when you quit.
Where? It doesn't even come back after you quit taking it.
Ugh.
They say it does, Jack. Oh yeah, 10 years. Their actual description of it says that in 10 years it'll come back. By 10 years later, you're right where everybody else is. Which is why people had, their bones breaking. And it's weird. It wasn't happening to anybody who wasn't on these puberty blockers, Jack.
Yeah, it's kind of odd, but it's just, I'm sure it's just a coincidence. You don't know what you're talking about. They're not sterilized either, remember. It's totally reversible. That's what I've been assured by multiple internet people.
Lupron has a very interesting history. That's the brand name for the puberty blocker that they put these people on.
Mm-hmm. Isn't that the chemical castration drug?
It absolutely is, yes.
That's what I thought.
And I'm okay with making pedophiles' bones more brittle so they can still take it.
Well, yeah, then the kids could beat them up.
Yeah.
I can laugh at that.
But the company that originally made it got sued for fraud. And then somebody else bought it, and that company ended up getting sued for fraud.
I'm sensing a theme.
Yeah, you think? Yeah, they also their scientific data, we'll call it that. Please understand I was using air quotes as I said that. Is missing huge chunks of stuff of your blind studies and your human trials and all. Yeah, it's just oh yeah, we were gonna do that, but Fred lost the paperwork.
It's a lot of extra steps.
And yet it is still approved for use in the United States.
Yeah, well, a lot of this stuff should be happening, but nobody really seems interested in stopping it.
Yeah, so it's really a disgusting thing. And for them to now be like, you guys are ignoring the science. Your whole thing ignores the science. You guys literally tell us biology isn't real.
It's not. How could you buy into that colonial myth, monkey? You freak.
I would love to go back to when Kindergarten Cop came out and see how the trans activists treat that little kid who says boys have a penis, girls have a vagina.
Oh, that kid would be canceled. Probably harassed until he cried.
They would burn his house down.
Yeah, they'd destroy his life and his parents. Probably try and throw him in jail somehow too.
There was a time when we understood by kindergarten, yeah, boys and girls are different. Now, not anymore. No, that's not science. Because we decided it's not. Because address.
Yeah, that's what cites as bigotry and white supremacy. Don't be a bigot.
In all fairness, that kid had a punchable face. That kid was adorable.
Kind of had a punchable face.
He was cute. How dare you? How dare you? Oh my God, people are.
You're ducking in and out, dude. I can't understand you.
He came out and said that he watched the show and he enjoyed it, but there's full minutes where he forgot there was even dialogue.
Oh, you're talking about Fallout?
Yeah. Oh, what did I say?
I don't know. You ducked out.
Cut out.
Yeah.
God damn! I don't know why it's happening so bad lately. Yeah, but these people are really pissed off that I pointed out that he said he got distracted. That the story was so good he got distracted for minutes at a time. Like, you're taking what he said out of context. One guy told me I took him out of context and maybe he rewound it. I'm like, even if he did rewind it, it doesn't mean he, didn't ignore it for several minutes at a time.
If you're watching a show and you take the time to rewind it, you're not that interested in what's happening on the screen.
Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with just saying that. You know what happens to me, Jack, if I'm watching something, and it does happen, and I realize I'm not paying any attention to what's being said, I stop watching. Obviously, my attention is somewhere else.
Yeah, I tend to kind of just turn it off then.
And it doesn't matter, or it doesn't mean it's a bad show. And again, guys, I haven't seen it. This is the part that really drives me insane because I said I haven't seen it. It could be good. That part doesn't mean anything. I have a narrative, apparently, Jack.
You have a narrative, you son of a bitch.
I just thought that was a stupid thing to point out. It's so good, I stopped paying any attention to the story for several minutes. Not I got distracted at one moment because I saw something cool in the background from the Fallout universe. No. The background was so much more interesting in it that you did not pay attention to the story. Sure, that makes sense. These people are like really pissed, Jack. You'd think I banged their moms or something.
Did you?
No.
Or the comments from your children?
Moms make stupid people. I would never sleep with someone like that.
That's a good point.
Retro, thank you so very much. Who says monkey dial-up internet fund? I appreciate it. Remember, this is the best internet I can get in my area. I'm guessing we have cloud cover coming in. I left my phone in the bedroom.
Uh-oh.
Almost drowning on my own stomach acid made me just run out of the bedroom. I forgot to grab it. So I can't even check the weather, Jack. And it's too dark outside to look and just see if there's clouds. All right.
Stick a flashlight out there.
Yeah, that'll probably work.
Sure, why not?
Oh my God. Speaking of people not understanding how science works, um, we had a PhD, Jack, who came to the rescue of the Biden administration.
Of course, there's a PhD. I'm a PhD.
She got very upset because somebody put up a graph showing the different breakdowns in Arizona of families. Here, let's put it on the screen here. Bump up. Where is it? This one, right? Yeah. Arizona ESA families are not disproportionately wealthy, they're disproportionately middle income. And this gives a breakdown. There's a 0 to $74,999 for one group, 75,000 to 149,999 for the other group, and then for the top is 150,000 plus. And this lady who has a PhD in sociology came out and went, I think people would be very surprised to find out that at $149,000 that they're middle income. They might be. They might be. However, this breakdown, you can see it right at the bottom of the fucking screen. Well, you guys might not be able to because of Jack's thing there. Here, let's just, there we go. It came from the fucking Census Bureau.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
It's right there on the screen. He didn't define it. The federal fucking government did. But that's okay. Our sociology PhD, Miss Jen Jennings, don't do that to your kids. Middle income families would like a word with heritage folks calling 149K middle income. I feel like the person you should be talking to is whoever's running the Census Bureau right now.
Yeah. Well, and depending on what city you live in, that might be accurate. Like New York City is going to be way more expensive to live, so your median income shifts. Same with like Seattle; it's a very expensive city.
This isn't putting any kind of judgment on that.
No, they're not saying like these people are bad people.
Yeah, but this is a PhD, Jack, who couldn't read the bottom of the fucking screen. It's on the graph.
Yeah, but I mean, I just don't like it, so I'm not going to read anymore.
What are ESA family? I don't know what ESA is. Let's look that up. ESA Familia. Should I spell it that way since we're talking about Arizona? Familia.
Probably. It's gonna be
Oh, it's an education savings account. So it's people with education savings accounts. But it says recipient. That's a weird thing for it. I don't know. You'll have to look it up yourselves and let me know. But either way, it doesn't change what the incomes are. It's based on the overall country, and we have three distinct groups of people. 75,000 to 150,000 is a wide range, but it's literally the same range as the lowest income, Jack, 0 to 75,000. And then for the highest group, they just go 150,000 and more because that number of people for all of there's so many more billionaires today. True, but you could still fit them all inside a bus and you'd have room. There's just not that many. There's a whole lot more poor people in the country than rich people.
There always will be.
It's not even close. Not even close. All right. So we can move along from there. Jack, what did you bring today? I'm sure I have other things. I just don't care. Other than the news one is the one that really got me today because you didn't even address what was said.
Why would you want to do that?
You just start with empty platitudes about how you diversified. There's much more diversity talk in that statement from her, but just about how diversity is our strength nonsense. Don't forget idiot Hasan. Hasan came out and said World War III is going to start, so World War III is not going to start.
Probably not, or it will, and it won't have anything to do with what he was talking about.
But more interesting to me is what you sent me about Hasan.
Oh my god. I didn't know if you knew that or not, but I
I
saw that and
didn't.
it's like fucking retard. I mean, he's so special.
Hasan has a reaction channel, except here's the thing. It's no different than all of his other content. It's just that he's decided that certain portions count as reaction because reaction is a popular subject.
Yeah. He finally figured out that reaction channels get pretty big and they make a little bit of money. So he's
Yeah,
like, I do that now too. Ugh.
his audience has been dying off. And again, he still has a much bigger audience than we do, but it's freaking him out because he used to have 50,000 subs, and now it's less, or 50,000 live viewers with 50,000 plus subs, and now the live viewers are down to less than 20,000. He's lost more than half his audience.
Probably because they're growing up and moving on to real commentary.
Well, he got a big boost from COVID. He really did. And he got a boost from people like AOC going on and playing dumbass games with him. And people were stuck at home, and so they were tuning in more. We've seen this across YouTube and Twitch. All of these things have a lot less dedicated audiences than they did in 2020.
Yeah.
Because people were allowed to go outside again. ESA is government funding of schools. Okay, gotcha. Thank you. And Hasan's audience, a lot of them went back to work, Jack.
They
A
don't have
lot of them.
jobs. What are you talking about? They went back to middle school.
Somebody's paying for his subscriptions.
Yeah, mom and dad's credit cards.
A lot of them, yeah, you're not wrong about that. Some of them got it old enough to notice girls. Speaking of which, since we're on just minor things that I don't want to deep dive into, Abba and Preach's latest video on Fresh and Fit is a must watch.
Oh my god, that was hilarious.
Abba was killing me with his African guy, dude.
Yeah, that was hilarious. Dude, I haven't laughed that hard in a long time.
Yeah.
I kept waiting for him to say to eat the poo poo.
To eat the poo poo. It's about the Fresh and Fit nonsense because Fresh and Fit are really mad at Abba and Preach for calling them out over and over again for being, well, the opposite of what they claim to be.
Yeah.
And in true manly style, the response from Fit, Myron over there with his hair plugs, was, "You're gay."
Yeah,
and
that was their big comeback was, "You guys are homosexuals." And they're like, "Yeah. And
what if I am?
Not, but so what?"
And one of their things to prove he's homosexual is that ABBA was dancing with women. You got him. You totally got him there. If you dance with women, you're gay.
Yeah, and Myron over there dancing with a whole bunch of dudes and reclining with his arms around. There were some really homoerotic photos being shown.
Yeah, Andrew Tate piped in the conversation to basically call them ABBA and Preach gay. Remember, this is a guy who said that if you have a choice to sleep with a man who looks pretty in a dress or an ugly person that was born with a vagina, what we call women, that the manly thing to do is to bang the dude.
Yeah.
But ABBA and Preach are gay.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I don't get it.
Yeah, check it out, guys. It's funny. ABBA and Preach. I don't remember the name of the latest one. It should be their latest video that's even up. All right, let's move on. Federal marshal admits fingerprints don't match after wild case of mistaken identity. Jesus Christ.
This is a crazy story.
How do you... Okay, the fingerprints not matching should be the end of it right there, right?
You would think so. But it wasn't. Federal
agents now admit they made a mistake and the fingerprints don't match. Wait. That picture at the top. Are these the ones where they're saying it's the same woman?
Yep. See, the one picture of her is from like 30 years ago. It'll get into it in the story.
Okay. All right.
It's
anyway,
fucking bonkers.
Federal agents now admit they made a mistake and the fingerprints don't match after an ABC 15 investigation into the false arrest of a Phoenix woman outside her home last month. U.S. Marshal Service has received confirmation from fingerprint analysis that Miss Penny McCarthy is not the fugitive Carol Ann Rozak, wanted for an outstanding parole violation warrant in Oklahoma, the agency said. McCarthy said their admission won't stop her quest for justice. I want someone to hold these people accountable. I want this to not happen to more people. Oh, Penny. As long as the government exists, stuff like this is going to happen. The best we can do is hope it doesn't happen often, Jack.
Yeah, no kidding. I'm really surprised that the feds admitted any wrongdoing. They almost never do that. I hope this lady gets a big pile of money, because this is fucking ludicrous.
An Arizona federal judge on Monday dismissed the case against McCarthy and canceled her court hearing days after ABC 15 investigation into her wild case of mistaken identity. ABC 15 contacted the U.S. Attorney Office and U.S. Marshal Service to find out what caused the federal government to make such a major mistake and wrongfully arrest a 66-year-old woman at gunpoint. Multiple federal agents, there's no answer? All right. Multiple federal agencies in different states have done a lot of finger pointing, but 48 hours after the judge dismissed the case, the U.S. Marshal Service provided a statement. However, it doesn't answer the key questions. The Marshal Service said a preliminary review found federal officials followed proper procedures in good faith, relying on the outstanding warrant. And this just sounds like a government letter. And regrets any inconvenience caused by the mistaken identification. We are so very sorry we pointed guns at you and arrested you for being someone you're not.
Right? It drove you through hell by accusing you. And she had to prove that she wasn't this woman. It was guilt until proven innocent. Completely antithetical to what our country is supposed to be about.
We're sorry that happened. Have a nice day. Really? It's not right, McCarthy said. I'm with you, sweetie. All right. According to McCarthy, 6 federal agents arrested her at gunpoint outside her Phoenix home in March. She said officers threatened to tase her when she tried to tell them they had the wrong person. Okay, in fairness to the police officers, I'm sure they've heard that before.
Yeah, plus tasers are really fun.
Yeah, and this does not dismiss how they treated the woman, but I mean, we saw how many times did George Floyd say he couldn't breathe before he finally couldn't breathe anymore?
Yeah. Well, did they really need like the SWAT team to go in and get some old lady? I mean, what is she gonna do? Flee? She's in her 60s.
Yeah, and it's a probation violation. They sent 6 people after a 66-year-old woman.
Yeah, that's just trying to justify your budget.
Nuts as damn. Did the other woman shoot someone? I have no idea. Nuts. We'll find out. Hopefully, because all they've told us so far is it's a probation violation. Anyway, McCarthy was then transported to prison in Florence and had to spend a night in federal custody before a judge released her the following day, pending an identity hearing. They've traumatized me. I don't go in my front yard unless somebody's here with me. Y'all made this grandma too afraid to go in her front yard. How dead is her dog? That's a good question. At the identity hearing originally scheduled for April 9th, McCarthy was going to have to prove she wasn't Carol Ann Rozak, a wanted fugitive from another state she'd never lived in. Jack, they told us already that they followed all the proper procedures. Do you think maybe we need different procedures?
A little bit, yeah. Yeah, like maybe some real procedures and not just, close enough.
I'm a mom. I told my children their whole life, own your errors, and I would love for somebody to own theirs. I no longer have faith in the government.
You sweet summer child.
You made it 66 years with faith in government. That's actually pretty impressive.
Delusional, maybe.
I no longer have faith in government that anybody's going to say this is wrong. Federal agents claim McCarthy was Rozak, a now 70-year-old woman who was wanted on an outstanding parole violation from a warrant in 99 out of Oklahoma. Rozak served prison time for all nonviolent crime. Okay. So the crimes were nonviolent. It's a parole violation, and you sent 6 people to get who you thought was a 70-year-old woman.
The warrant is from 1999.
I hear you.
So the photo they have on file is almost, 25 years old?
25, yeah.
Yeah. So a little bit outdated. They didn't bother to look for like a more recent one. They're just like, that's her. Let's go get her. Come on, boys, suit up. We got something to do today. Let's go bust in some doors.
Well, even if they had the correct picture of her, right? You sent 6 people to get a nonviolent parole violator.
Yeah, on a 20-some-year-old warrant. What a complete fucking waste of time. How bored are your cops? Like, there's no real crime to fight that you want to serve a 25-year-old warrant?
The real Carol Ann, if they catch your ass, by all means, throw her back in jail. I don't give a fuck. She's a criminal.
Yeah, but you'll catch her on like a speeding ticket more likely than finding her at home under
She's
some
70.
phony name. What a fucking ridiculous thing.
You sent a fucking SWAT team after a 70-year-old woman, a nonviolent offender. If she was Mexican, you'd give her the key to the city.
Yeah, and a bunch of free money and stuff.
A warrant for her arrest was issued on April 15th, 1999 in Oklahoma, and ABC 15 has learned McCarthy's false arrest all stems from that 2 decades old outstanding warrant. As we previously reported, McCarthy was fingerprinted when federal officers first took her into custody in Arizona last month. U.S. Marshal Service in Oklahoma, where the old case investigation that led to McCarthy's arrest was conducted, said there was some kind of glitch which appeared at first to show McCarthy's digital fingerprints matched. Bullshit.
Yeah, Monkey's got some bridges he'll sell you if you believe that one.
The agency has since confirmed a more thorough analysis showed the prints didn't match and McCarthy is not Rozak, a wanted fugitive.
Translation, somebody actually ran the prints.
Yeah, at first they just went, yeah, it looks like her to me. Those are totally her fingerprints. McCarthy also said investigators initially said her fingerprints matched, but the story changed the following day in court when prosecutors told a judge they didn't have anyone to analyze her prints. Oh, fuck. Okay. So you guys went to court without the fingerprint data.
Yep. And they were still going to prosecute this woman.
I no longer trust the people who govern me, she said. I don't blame you. ABC 15 continues to press for answers. You're not getting them. You're just not getting them. If you want something like this to actually have some kind of meaning, they got to get this in front of Trump.
Yeah.
Get this story in front of Trump, along with a story of illegals who've killed somebody after being let go repeatedly, and then maybe this woman will get an answer. Then maybe somebody will get at least a reprimand in their jacket, you know?
Yeah.
But otherwise, ABC 15, good on you for doing actual reporting, but they don't give a shit. You think these guys, the FBI blatantly lied to the FISA court, got a $200 fine? You think any of these assholes are going to admit anything here? When this lady didn't even really go to jail, she spent a night in the slammer?
Well, if she sues, she's going to get like 10 grand, if that.
I encourage her to sue, and hopefully she gets the right jury and she follows through and doesn't, take a settlement. And she could get paid for this.
Yeah.
Depends on what part of the or where the trial is held, right? Do that shit in Texas, and she is going to be, Bill Gates rich. Do that shit in Portland, and yeah, she's going to have to owe the government. Isn't it great the way the jury system works?
No.
According to a recently filed federal court motion in Oklahoma, Rozak had stolen Penny Burns' identity in a way that made Penny Burns look like Rozak on paper. They're born 4 years apart. I don't understand how. Okay. McCarthy said Burns is her maiden name, but no one will provide any specific information about what exactly linked McCarthy to Rozak, leading federal agents to arrest the wrong person. Other than there was a Facebook post. No, no. Other than there was a Facebook post and a C-section scar, which appeared.
Damning C-section scar. You know,
I didn't really turn off my internet there. It just shit out again. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. They arrested her based on a Facebook photo and a C-section scar.
Yep.
A C-section scar on a woman.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's very rare. It's a very noticeable
very
thing.
Rare. Yeah. Somebody needs to be fired. Seriously.
Yeah, and never be allowed to work in that field again.
When asked what she'd want to say to the real Carol Ann, I don't care really what she'd say to the real Carol Ann. I want to know what she'd say to whoever let this happen. That's where my real interest in the story, because she says that I'm probably looking for her harder than they are at this point, because I would like nothing better than to show them I can do their job better than them. Get him, Penny. The U.S. Marshal Service has denied multiple requests for an on-camera interview. Shocking. All right. So the fingerprints just weren't there. That was all a lie. Which means that the only evidence that they did have, because they mentioned in there about something to do with identity theft, but they said, made it look like her, but they're 4 years apart in age. That's a pretty easy one to prove. You literally just need her ID from the state, Jack.
No, she went off the grid because of this probation violation for a non-violent crime. She changed her name and her entire identity and became some lady in another state.
Was she one of those albino black people who can't figure out how to get an ID? Is that what happened here?
Yes.
Okay. All right. I understand now.
Yes. And we're just gonna sweep up anybody that vaguely looks like her in roughly the same age demographic that may or may not have a scar on a common location. And you have to prove you're not that person, or we're going to throw you in federal jail.
We're going to throw your ass in prison.
Yeah, this is very much like what the Soviets would have done.
We're going to have 6 cops come to your house over a non-violent offense on a non-violent offense. It's a double non-violent offense there. And again, if they find the real chick, I have no problem with them throwing her in prison for her parole violation, but the response is what I have an issue with.
Oh, it's completely over the top.
Christ almighty. Man on terror. Oh, son of a bitch. The news just gets better and better tonight.
Well, the hits just keep coming. Real quick, though, to address something Merle asked me in chat. It's Amazing Adventures issue 3 from 1961.
Man on Terror watch list was released by Border Patrol because, of course, he was. We just read about an old lady getting arrested for being the wrong person, and we're turning terrorists loose into the country.
Well, yeah, Biden's America, buddy. You don't want to be a bigot, do you? I mean, terrorist. That's a really buzzword. That's mean.
An Afghan migrant of course. On the terror watch list, spent nearly a year inside the U.S. after he was apprehended and released by Border Patrol agents last year, U.S. officials told NBC News. Somehow this is Trump's fault. I know it.
Of course it is. But it's also your fault because you're an Islamophobic bigot.
I am. But I'm okay with that.
Yeah, because I don't want to die in an explosion.
I am bigoted. The actual definition of bigoting, because that was Scribe's thing. People use bigot wrong. And he's right. Most people use bigot wrong. But in the case of Islam, I'm absolutely bigoted against it.
Yeah, I don't want to die. I
disagree with it 100%.
Yeah.
And think the people who practice it should probably, stop.
Stop
Your
killing
prophet
people.
fucked a 9-year-old. It's all right, man. He waited till she was 9 to finally put it in. I don't want to know what he made her do for the first 3 years of their marriage.
Yeah, you really probably don't.
Just relax your throat. San Antonio, thank you. Or sorry, thank you. And Afghan migrant on the terror list was let back in. Mohammed Karwin, 48, was freed on bond as he awaited an immigration hearing in Texas scheduled for 2025. There were no restrictions on his movement inside the U.S. He was going to flight school.
Yeah, he just wants to have a better life for his kids. That's why he's a pilot.
Yeah. Late Thursday, Carwin was taken into custody. Immigration and Customs Enforcement. You can just say ICE, man. A Homeland Security spokesperson said. A source familiar with the matter said that based on the information currently available, there's no reason to believe this individual entered the country as part of a terrorist mission. Well, isn't that nice?
He's on the watch list, and he snuck into our country, but he's totally not up to anything weird, guys.
Faithless says not 100%. They are largely right about women and trans. I agree with them. Like when we saw the folks around the Detroit area, I don't remember if that was actually in Ann Arbor or where it was at, but mad about the transing of their kids.
Yeah,
I agree with them on that. But when you can then turn around and have an honor killing of your daughter because she accidentally showed her belly button in public, that's where we part ways again.
Yeah, they're big on cutting off clitorises and.
That's just for jewelry, man.
Well, I mean, you don't want women having pleasure.
A clit makes the best charm bracelet for a woman.
Yeah, I mean, I get it, but still kind of gross and weird.
It doesn't, since it's soft tissue, it doesn't like make any banging sounds when it hits stuff. It's just a little, a barely audible thump.
If that were the issue, they wouldn't have taken it off.
Later, God, we are going to hell.
What's this wee shit? By the way, like, share, and subscribe if you're feeling generous. Toss us money.
You're the one who started doing the porn music.
What? I'm a good boy. Didn't do nothing. You got no evidence because it wasn't me.
Lovely visual, Monk. I know. We have a way with words around here.
We are wordsmiths.
A source familiar said he wasn't a terrorist, whatever. Carm was initially apprehended in March of 2023 near San Ysidro or Ysidro. Do you pronounce the Y in that one?
San Ysidro?
Stop. Hey, look, I need to talk to Americans, okay? I know I've been on this a while lately, but stop naming things stupid, okay? I get it. People have done it for a long time, but we've advanced. We spell through THRU because it makes fucking sense. Stop putting K's in front of N's and Y's in front of S's at the beginning of fucking words. It doesn't make any sense. Unless you actually want me to pronounce the Y. We need to get rid of all silent letters, okay?
Oh, you'd like that, wouldn't you?
I would. I would have been a much better speller if I didn't have to remember that, oh yeah, this word has a letter in it that you don't fucking pronounce.
Yeah. To address something in chat. No, it's not a dinosaur story. It's an anthology book, so there's multiple stories in it. So it's not just that dinosaur story. That's just the lead story. There's 3 or 4 stories in there.
Border agents suspected he was on the U.S. terrorist watch list when he was apprehended because one piece of information matched a person on the list. But the agents lacked corroborating information, which officials declined to describe, that would confirm Carmen was the person they suspected.
We can't confirm it. Just cut him loose. He's fine. Oh, he's on the list. I just let him wander around for a while. It's cool.
And they don't see a problem with this.
No, they do it all the time. How many times have we heard about people on the terror watch list or people coming from enemy countries and just wandering in and they're like, okay, go ahead.
Lysis, thank you. This happened to my dad. Only difference, this is going back to the false arrest of the old lady. This happened to my dad. Only difference was place of birth. Serial killer trucker. Dad was a mechanic, told to stay put by the cop he was having a beer with the night the crime happened.
Wow.
Jesus Christ. I'm glad your dad got out of it okay. I'm hoping your dad's not in prison, is he? I don't want to. Oh, now that could be awkward.
Yeah, if he was wrongly arrested, or was he the actual serial killer?
Oh, that could be it too. Anyway, thank you so much for the donation. Guys, brought to you by you. Like, share, make sure your friends know about this because we're fun. We're fun people. And if you are so inclined, please consider donating to Jack and myself. After it processed Carwin and took his biometric data, Customs and Border Protection released him as it would any other migrant. Just because he matched one thing on the terror watch list doesn't mean you can keep him, Jack, so you can find out for sure. That's crazy. Am I gone again?
No, you're fine.
Oh, well, you didn't say anything.
I have anything to add.
That's fine. I have PTSD with my internet. So every so often I just need you to go, uh-huh. And I'll be like, what? Uh-huh, what? And you say, you told me to say that. And I'll be like, yeah, but what do you want now? Monk's main enemy is the pterodactyl. Fuck you.
No, the pterodactyl?
The pterodactyl.
No, it's the stairs.
His alibi was the cop. Yeah, that I caught that from the story. And the cop still told him to stay put, huh? How long did that cop keep his job? I'm very curious.
No, man, that's like I just said, that's how Cinemax movies start. They got some sexy cop watching the suspect. Turns out he's not the one that did it, but they have a relationship and they start banging. Then the real serial killer comes looking.
Oh, yeah.
That might be a Hallmark movie. I'm not sure.
I think that one's a Cinemax movie.
Yeah, it could go either way, depending on how much of a budget they've got.
I'm pretty sure I've seen all 5 parts of that movie.
It was a Red Shoe Diaries story. I'm old.
I'm about to quit. I seriously am. My internet's pissing me off. We didn't talk about it, but since you brought up sex and cops, we should mention that really ugly chick who banged her whole department got paid.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Did we? Yeah. I know we talked about her suing. I didn't remember us talking about that it actually was decided.
Yeah, because it was like $500,000, remember?
Yeah. Did we talk about it on air?
Yeah. Only for like a minute.
Huh. I still don't know how that dirty whore didn't, just have to go be a dirty whore like a normal dirty whore.
Look, she made more money banging that department than most OnlyFans whores.
After it processed Carwin and took his biometric data, they released him as they would anyone else without alerting ICE about possible terrorism ties. I wonder if that's policy, Jack.
Probably.
We know Biden has a lot of those little policies that they don't like to talk about on the nightly news.
No, just like, letting them board airplanes with no photo ID. And they a lot of times just skip the TSA line.
Carwin was referred to ICE's alternative to detention program, requiring him to check in periodically by phone. He was able to apply for asylum and work authorization and fly domestically. What could go wrong with terrorists flying in the U.S.?
It's a mystery.
He's on the National Terrorist Watch List maintained by the FBI, which includes the name of 1.8 million people considered potential security risk. And we do know that there's issues with that thing. Just in fairness to Mr. Terrorist here. Just because he came from Afghanistan and he's on the terrorist list does not necessarily mean he is a terrorist. However, it should mean they check it out before they turn him loose in the fucking country.
Nah, they don't give a fuck about the regular citizens. They want chaos. They want us to be afraid because then you need the government.
The database, wow, indicates he's a member of Hezbi Islam, it's Salami, whatever, or HIG. Those are not the words I just read.
Well, it's in Flemmy language.
A political and paramilitary organization that the U.S. has designated a terrorist organization. Okay. They did tell us that they won't tell us what he originally matched, but I would guess it was this.
Maybe.
Okay. Fuck our government, man. Fuck them right in the butt. This is nonsensical. You are turning people that popped up, even a specious, the most vague connection to terrorist watch list. They're here illegally. If anybody's okay to detain, it's that person.
Nope. It's an all or nothing blanket policy. You bigot, you Islamophobe.
And if it turns out that they're not actually a terrorist, fine. But that's, at the very least, that is the government's job to be looking at.
You would think so, but doing your job is hard, and it's a union job, so you don't really have to do it.
Fuck, man.
It's just lazy. They're just too lazy to do their jobs because they don't want to get yelled at.
And with ICE being or not being notified about this, it just screams to me, your people from your sanctuary cities.
Mm-hmm.
And we already know. This is why when I hear Border Patrol supports Biden's plan, which portion of Border Patrol? Are you talking about the people in charge? Because that doesn't mean shit to me. They're going along with Biden's bullshit. It's the guys in the field that are like, we're getting fucked here, so I guess I'll just get paid for nothing, I guess.
Yep.
Come on in.
And morale has got to be super low at Border Patrol because they just look like a concierge service for these invaders. I mean, they're aiding and abetting these people.
At this point, I don't see why we just don't get rid of the border, honestly. What's the point of it anymore?
Might as well just surrender a few states to Mexico and get it over with.
Yeah. Well, the whole thing, Jack, because they'll just slowly move further and further north as they destroy the parts that... Remember, these are people, very poor people, with very little training to do fuck all.
Yeah, they're just here to parasitically leech off our taxpayers.
And other than them coming here criminally, Jack, it doesn't mean they're bad people, right? In their home country, they might have been the most pious person you ever met. They're here illegally, and they can't contribute.
So most of them don't want to. Look at that TikTok influencer that got busted.
All they're going to do is drag their poverty here.
Yep. Lower our standard of living, make us all poorer because we're going to have to pay for these leeches.
Okay. Sorry, I've started yawning. Again, guys, I only had about 2 hours of sleep. I am exhausted, so I apologize for yawning in your ear. Ontarian wins legal battle for public funding of gender-affirming surgery, argued as experimental. Oh, Canada, why are you retarded?
Canada used to be cool, man.
An Ontario resident has successfully secured public funding for a specialized gender-affirming surgery, argued to be experimental by the provincial health insurer, following a years-long legal battle. The prospective patient, identified only as wants a dick or doesn't want a dick, in documents filed with the Provincial Health Services, was seeking coverage under the Ontario Health Insurance Plan for a penile-preserving vaginoplasty. This person wants to be a hermaphrodite?
Yes, they're gonna have a bothy, a wee and a hoo-ha, and maybe they're gonna try and dinker themselves. I don't know.
A procedure in which a vaginal cavity is surgically created while keeping the penis intact. Yeah, they want to be a hermaphrodite.
Just change their name to Hermie and say they're a dentist.
And right.
Oh, did you duck out again? Monkey's gone. Gone, but not forgotten.
That one might have been YouTube because I said the word hermaphrodite too many times.
Oh, yeah. You got to call him Hermie.
There's nothing wrong with the word hermaphrodite.
That sounds something phobic.
The only problem with the word hermaphrodite is it reminds people that intersex is 9,000 different things to bring the number of people affected with it up to 10,000.
Gotta look important. Gotta feel special.
If we take these 3 people and mix them with these 3 people and those 3 people and those 3 people, and then there's 6 over here, look, it's a whole demographic. I think if they're gonna do it that way,
No, we'll never know what he thinks. I'm hanging with the cliffhanger here, guys. I don't know quite where he was going with that, and I'm interested.
I'm going with that's the end of the show. That was the end of the article, or the end of the stories in that article. I mean, other than this person arguing that they should get a hole put it where their testicles used to be, there's not much to it, really.
I don't believe that was the last article.
That's all 4 that we have?
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh. I swore there was another one.
There's a 4th one there, but
should that New York Post one?
Already,
did we cover that one? About the paternity tests?
I don't remember covering it. It was already purple for me.
Oh.
I don't remember reading this, and it was already purple for me.
Huh.
But we'll have to get it tomorrow because these internet issues are starting to piss me off.
Yeah, it's understandable.
I'm getting angry, and I don't want to be angry with the audience or you.
I'm used to you yelling at me, but leave the audience alone.
Thank you, Frost, who said, this is Dr. Mephisto, but vaginas instead of asses. And thank you, John, who says, for the Bigot Fund cuss word jar. I appreciate it. Yeah, sorry about the internet issue, guys, but I'm getting frustrated, and I can feel it. And I don't want to be like that streaming. So it would be our last story anyway. So maybe another 15 minutes, and we'll just have to catch that one tomorrow because I am curious now, but I don't know why that was already purple for me. Have you sent it before, and maybe I opened it and?
Yeah, I think we were going to cover it a few days ago and never got to it.
Yeah, because it's
guessing that's what happened.
Yeah, it's almost a week old. So yeah, sorry about that, dude. It was purple, so I was like, fuck, we already covered it.
Well, I don't care.
That's my bad. Guys, thank you so much for coming and hanging out with us. I want to do a game stream, but I'm not even going to attempt it with this being like this. So maybe in the morning we'll do a game stream. Thank you for hanging out with us. Thank you so very much for the donations. You guys are so kind. Jack, anything you want to show?
No, I got nothing.
There you go.
Thank you all so much for the donations and all the support you give us. No, I spent my day helping a buddy of mine that had a stroke and going and talking to my dad. So,
gotcha. Yeah, we will definitely. I want to get back to 7 days. I'm having a ton of fun with it. We're ready for Horde Night. Jack, I ended up doing just 1 hour last night because I was expecting Little Butt to get up, and then 2 hours later, she was still asleep. It's like, damn it, I could have done the whole thing. But I didn't want to have to cut out in the middle of that because if she had woke up, I would have left. But thank you for joining me, my friend. I'm sorry about the internet issues.
It happens.
It's gotten so bad recently, and it's tonight was horrible. This is the worst it's been since I first got Starlink.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with Starlink, but I suspect somebody's probably trying to mess with them.
Either way, guys, we appreciate you being here, and we love you. Take care of yourselves. We'll see you next time.
Bye, everybody.
I'm gonna sing you all up.